All right, hello, welcome. Welcome to today's stream. This is the first time I've done a stream in a while, but with good intent. Yeah, the start of the year was crazy busy as I was working with Sonblust on trying to get Generation Exile over the line. And we did that in April. And now I am doing YouTube and working on video games myself full time. No longer with Sonblust. I'm going to make a video about that in a couple of weeks. But this stream is because we are trying to, well, I am trying to make a playable version of Cabs of Chaos for an event that's coming up here in Vancouver next weekend, actually. So yeah, a little nervous about that because it'll be the first time that people have played the game, and I don't know how it's going to be perceived. So I'm working hard on making it good by next weekend. So I think I can. I think I can switch. Hold on. Let me see if I can do what I want to do. This one? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I've got a stream deck as part of this. So yeah, basically I'll be doing a lot more streams. But this is Vancouver Game Garden. It's an event here in Vancouver. So if you are watching and you are from Vancouver, you should come next weekend. It's gonna be kind of crazy because I think FIFA is happening at the same time. But yeah, if you go down to exhibitors and you scroll a little bit, there I am, Cabs of Chaos. And if you click that, you can also go to the Steam page. There is a Steam page for Cabs of Chaos. I will share that here. Please go and wishlist it. But yeah, I made the decision basically to go full time on this thing. I kind of left YouTube by the wayside for a little bit over the past year while I was working with Sonderlust on getting Generation Exile over the line, and unfortunately that didn't go amazingly. The game didn't sell super well. So I decided to step away. Again, I'll talk a bit more about that in the future. But yeah, so I decided that, you know what, I'm going to try and do what I can and get Cabs over the line and see if I can use that. And keep just making YouTube videos basically and see if I can put some more time into it, because one of my favorite things about this is you guys. And yeah, so that's kind of the gist of what we're doing today. I'm going to try and I'm in the middle of getting a new game mode into the game. I've actually, if you've been watching on the Discord and you've looked in the Discord server, you'll know that I've been working on a new character. I've got a sort of grandma model that I've got in the game. And where is she? Let's go to character showroom. And so she is here and ready to go. So it's the first time I've had like a new character in the game for a while. And generally it took about, I don't know, about a week to get the character and the model in the game. And so I think it'll take about a week generally to get every other character in that I want. And I want to have about 15 or 16, I think. So it's like 3 months worth of work, but it's fine. But I'm not doing that right now. So I wanted a new one in for Game Garden, which we have, and I think she looks great. She's very fun. She drives a little golf cart type thing. And yeah, I've just been working on that, and there is a new, basically there's a set of tasks that we're going to be doing. And I mean, I'm probably going to do some more streams in general. I'd love to do one once a month, maybe twice a month if I can, just doing some dev streams, because also I get kind of bored just sitting in this room on my own doing this. So it'll be nice to chat to you guys while I'm doing that. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a ton more on the YouTube channel. As you've noticed, hopefully, I've been putting out a lot more videos this year already, including like a 6-hour tutorial course thing, beginner tutorial course thing that has done reasonably well. So I'm definitely going to do more of those because they're actually quite easy to make and quick to edit. So yeah, we will we'll see how this goes. Sorry, I literally just lost my train of thought halfway through that. Somebody slacked me and I got distracted. Let's do the thing where I sign out of Slack so I can't be messaged. Yeah, so basically my goal is to kind of just keep working on cabs until it's done. I think we'll see how long that takes. But today the stream is this, where we're working on my new game mode called Passenger Tag. It is a game mode where there aren't actually any destinations for the passenger. The players will spawn with a passenger in them, and they have to get rid of the passenger because they don't earn any money while they have a passenger on them. And I think that'll be quite fun. So I'll be testing this at Game Garden next weekend and seeing if it resonates with people. I think it might. I've played a little bit of it already. I got most of this working yesterday. There's still a little bit more left to do, which is what we're going to do today. And I think the last time I streamed, there was I was just kind of getting to the end of the downtown map. I'm trying to remember. I don't know what I was doing. I believe I was sort of working around this area. It might have been longer than that. I'd have to go and have a look. But anyway, this map, I finished this map a few months ago, and I was just doing a lot of the work of building the nav mesh and sorting things out. So there are still some portions of the map that the AI gets stuck in because I haven't quite cleaned up the nav mesh stuff. So that might happen today. For instance, this section here, I think my calculations ignore it, but yeah, there are some sections definitely where it thinks it can go. So I mean, I'm even looking at this, and I'm gonna just make this a nav mesh modifier. Wait. Is that because it's not sitting above? I think if I bring this down slightly and then rebake the nav mesh, that will fix that problem. No. Why was that working over yonder but not here? Have I just drivable? Unity's nav mesh system, it's really disappointing because it's quite good, but it's like most things underbaked. So add or modify nav mesh modifier. Add or modify all, apply to children, override area not walkable, override generate link. Okay, that worked. So why doesn't this bit? That's interesting. So much of this infuriating. I mean, I could just put it on this stuff, but I don't know, because that needs to be navigable. It would just be really nice if you could just select pieces islands and be like, hey, just this isn't nav mesh. Just don't, like, that's all it needs. That's all it needs. Give some engineers at Unity a couple of extra days to work on this. They could fix some of this stuff. Anyway, I've been distracted again. I will be, yes, fixing up the nav mesh wherever I can. Again, I'm not quite sure why in some instances this works and others it doesn't. But maybe... Did I do some... It's possible I've done some sections in some areas of this where I've had to manually go in and make a modifier section, or yeah. It also might have been something that I said I was going to deal with later and I just didn't get around to it. So we might want to deal with that. So let's see. I don't know. Because, like, you can use colliders to do a good chunk of this stuff. But it just kind of sucks when you have to do that. It's very strange, right? Because like this now doesn't have a... Why? What do I... Like, why does this section not get included when baked? But this huge section does. Is it really just that this doesn't touch the ground properly? Like if I put that in the ground a bit more, would that do it? Because I could probably fix that with some of my behaviors. Bake. No, that's still... It's really strange. All right, we're just jumping into the craziness. Let's focus on... I can deal with the NavMesh stuff later. This probably is something we're going to run into shortly, though, when I'm working with... oh, somebody has decided to pull some stuff outside. Awesome. 1 second, I am just going to click. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. The NavMesh behaves really weirdly, and it is something that I'm gonna have to check is being navigated properly. I think as long as it can build a real path, it should be fine. I don't think my AI tries to... I shouldn't use that term. My opponent director algorithm tries to navigate through things it can't make a path to. But again, I'm not 100% certain on that one. Anyway, game mode. Right, let's... where was I with the game mode? So I got some UI updates. That was what I need to do. So we need to get the UI to show up appropriately. I haven't touched the UI in a very long time, but I think that will come through. Yeah, let me show you what I'm going to try and do. And oh shoot, I should have tried to launch into the other mode. Okay. Switch to my startup scene. My dog is behind me, probably going to start snoring shortly. Okay, I also have a bug where it doesn't detect input immediately, which is great. And a lot of things I have to fix before this demo goes live. Okay, so we'll go to passenger tag. And I think we just have to update the text to say the right thing when yeah, somebody's cutting the grass out. Perfect. They used to do it every Thursday, and reliably it was Thursday. Now it just seems like they just do it whenever, so that's good. So yeah, we have this message up here that states Frank is trying to hit me. There we go. Okay, so now I have the passenger and I have to get rid of the passenger, and the pointer will just point towards whoever is closest to me, so I can give it back to Frank. and run away. And I got this, that. Do those stairs not count as a... And there is some weird stuff that's been happening recently with the way that I've set my scene up. So I'm gonna have to go through and... I guess I'm doing some collide and slide logic on random objects. Yeah, I made some changes to fix my vibration. I think I might have broke a couple of things. I shouldn't be bouncing off of certain objects. There's a lot of things I need to fix. Okay, there you go, Rich. You can drive straight towards me. Take the passenger. Go ahead. Yeah, so I need to make this not have a drop-off label, and then the little messages that you see pop up when somebody gets the character. This should be like avoid and then the name of the character. Rich is coming. Oop. So then that shouldn't say you stole. So what we wanted to say is players without should say avoid, and then players with, that should say get rid of, and then the steal event text needs to change depending on who does what. So we have to go find that. So let's do the UI scene. UI module. That should show that. Layer HUDs. And then let's open up the HUD group. And this will be a set of HUD groups for the split screen. So we need to open this. Hello, Justin, the voice actor. How you doing, bud? Welcome. Okay. So the destination box is hidden, and the destination text has... Have I not localized that? Oh no! Huh, okay. I might have to rewrite some things here to make this work. Right. I'm gonna have to make sure that this works in multiplayer as well. It's been a long time since I've touched the UI behaviors for this game. Okay, so we go for the multiplayer HUD controller. Let's open up some code. Welcome, folks, just joining. We're working on improving all of the code in the game to support this new game mode I'm working on today. If you want to wishlist Cabs of Chaos on Steam, you can do that now. There's a real Steam page and everything. I recently got Steam Deck, so I'm going to be trying to make sure that it definitely runs well on Steam Deck too. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Okay, so each of these will work for each player. So I have to make sure this is going to work. I think this controller handles the gist of everything, or do I have a script that's running on? I do. UI gameplay HUD panel controller, and then that's going to do it. Okay, so that's what we need, and then we need to go into the UI builder and destination box, and we need to do the logic in here. Okay, I built so much of this so long ago that I don't really remember a ton of how it's put together. Thankfully, I credit past self in writing this is one of the reasons why you should write code that is descriptive about what it's doing, so that when you come back in like 6 months and start working on this section of the project again, you can kind of figure out what the hell is going on. Yeah, okay, so then there's event messages. And I can just put the event message in there. That's good. Okay. I built a system to just display anything, which is great. Because in this, okay, so let's do the easy bit first. The easy bit seems to be when you get a player, we can fudge around with the message. So I can probably make some methods that do this, but that means we need to put some localized strings together. So, okay, let's rearrange this. Well, we can do the steal event text. That's the thing we can do first. We can do that pretty easily, so that's good. We will do that. Do you need some free voice acting? Hi, Justin. Email. If you email me, matt@macrocosmicsoftware.com, we can chat. I'm looking for voice actors. I'll put the email address in here. But it'll be paid. I won't be. This is a commercial project, so if you are, if you can send a demo or anything, I can add you to the list. But I will be looking for voice acting, so by all means, if you know anyone else that's also interested, send an email, and I'd be happy to have a look. I will probably also do a video around doing that when I find them, but I will be building a sort of roster of voice actors, so email is going to be best for that kind of thing. And I'll probably put out like a proper call when I'm getting close to that stage. But there's like very specific things I'm looking for, so anything you can get that has the most range in a reel would be good. Okay, so fob the passenger off to you and then gave the passenger to Y. Okay, so the fun thing about this game is it is both a local multiplayer game and a networked multiplayer game, which it wasn't originally going to be. I'm going to talk about that in the video I make for this too. I've got 2 videos I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be talking about Sondel, like moving to YouTube full time, and then I'm going to do another one that's updating the state of cabs. And I've just got so much to talk about. So, okay. So how did I set up? How did I set up the previous? That's all the locations. I need to fix those sprite names because they don't work in a build either. Okay, get the passengers and then just blur did blur. Okay, cool. Okay. And then it's passenger pickup player. Okay. So player avoid player. And wait, no, that's gonna be the other thing I want to do. So gave the passenger to Y. Player passenger. What's the word when they like get rid of them? What's a good word for that? Ejected, maybe? Or pass. Could be pass. Player passenger pass. That would be cool. Did I call it message? I want to try and keep the same. Passenger event message. There we go. That's what I want. Passenger event message pass. There we go. Okay. So 0, fob the passenger off to you. And then how am I handling the you stole message loss, stole from you, generic passenger event, stole from white. There, okay, so passenger event message pass generic, and then so that would be 0. I say gave the passenger to Y, okay. Okay, these two will work for now. I'm just gonna throw that in there. Statics. Let's pop some statics up here. I don't like. Do I just make a bunch of loc statics? Yeah. I should make a. Runtime create model behavior script loc consts. Do. Public static class. Boop, boop. Passenger event message pass, and then it was pass generic, right? It's generic. Okay. Public const string passenger pass message pass message tag. That's just generic. Passenger and pass message. That'll do. Okay. And then we should move these down here. Are they? Parent.generic passenger stolen. Did I put them over here? Yeah, I did. Will this game be only driving, or will it have NPCs walking around town like Crazy Taxi? Yeah, there are gonna be passengers. So there's gonna be pedestrians walking around. I had them in the prototype demo version. I just haven't implemented the code to get them wandering around yet. I might try and do that next week if I get some time. It would be nice to have a few people populated. But I've got a whole system for running them over and stuff. It's all sort of in the game already. I just have to get it working. So I did this. I think that's just going to be better as a const. I don't love that either. Because then it would be nice to have this all in one place, so I don't have to keep assigning them in the HUD. But I will move these later. I think that'll be fine. Oh, because that's I can call get localized string on that. Yeah. Maybe I just build a format for this. Okay. Can I do I think I can. I've got some code. Where did I do this? I did this the other day in the front end section. The public. Can you just put a key in there? I have to put a table reference and entry reference. Okay. Probably then the best thing to do is maybe just keep using this. I wonder if there's a utility that can do it though. Let's have a look in the localization package. Actually, am I up to date on that package? 1.5.11. Okay. Job. Last pass, well done. Go to the manual. I do like that they have image localization. Like, it's cool that they support that. It's kind of overkill, but it is cool. There is actually a ton of... I could probably make a whole video on this whole system, actually, because there's a ton of stuff I have not touched in the localizations system at all. Like, I know how... This is like a deeply intricate system. With, yeah, variables and stuff. I've always just kind of manually done a lot of this stuff myself. I think I would still continue to do this. But it'd be interesting to play around with it and get to the depth of how it wants you to do this. I've always found that so much of this stuff is just like heavily over-engineered. It's kind of part of the problem with a good ton of these packages. Because they kind of don't know what you want to do with it. They kind of let you do everything, and that means you can't really do anything very easily. Let me, I think, if I recall, I can just fetch with a key and then do localization. I did this in my front end. Was it in the main menu controller? No, it was in the game menu. No, that's the in-game menu. Mode select? UI mode select controller, I think that's it. Modes, there we go. Get key, and I made, that was an extension I made, right? Localized string dot table entry row. Localization settings dot string table dot get table. I would need an easy way to access the. See. I don't think there's a way to do it with constant keys and shit. I think I would have to. I think I just have to constantly make a reference. So there is no way really to. Which, I mean, that's fine, I guess. I don't love that. But it's not the end of the world right now. I guess I could just, okay. It just means I'm gonna have to put like every single one in here. I could make an asset that is all of the consts and do it that way, and then make the asset. That might be, okay. All right. Sure. Why not? That could then be configured. I don't hate that option. Or make sure that there's a way to develop from the resume reference tables, string table intro, specific string table and request like I could make sure that it's searching inside of a specific string table. I just don't want to screw me over in the future. why would I have... I guess if the game was bigger and it wasn't just me editing it, that would make sense why I would want multiple string tables. Okay, let's go find these. Where is this? That's just localization table. There, okay. So that's in localization tables. Table. Group, string table. It's the English version. Edit table metadata. What does that do? Oh, cool. Okay. Nice. I guess I could then. I guess at some point you're able to like show the other ones too. Okay. Yeah, I definitely could do a tutorial on this because I could spend some time learning all this. I think it would be useful. That might go in my list of things to do. I'm gonna add that to my list of things to do. Go back. Yeah. And let's add that to my list. I'll add that in there. Okay. Welcome to the stream where I just frickin' figure out what I want to do with localization. I think I'm just gonna do it the annoying way. And because then just anywhere it's referenced, it would be good. Okay, so maybe I make a scriptable object that is the consts, and then if the scriptable object can just always exist. Okay, I think that's at least cleanest and allows me to reference it in code everywhere without this. Because the thing that basically the reason that I'm kind of going crazy is that if I just have these references to localized strings in all over the project, it's going to be a nightmare to find, right? Like I'll have references here, and then if I get rid of one, whereas if all of these end up just in one place, it's so much cleaner. So I think that's what we'll do. So what we'll do is we'll change this to a class localization consts, and then we'll go to scriptable object, and then we're not just like referencing the same, because like if I update it somewhere and then I have to go and find every reference to that, and that's just going to suck. The downside is that this is now just going to be like infinitely big. I guess I could make subsets so it's not as crazy, but it's probably fine. Okay. Can you do... I wonder if I can do this. Oops. Instance. And then in the UI manager, I guess we could just do an instance of it. That might be the cleanest way to do this. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Can I set this? You get private set. I think I can do that. And I don't think that can be serialized, huh? Boo. Okay. I don't want you to be able to change it. All right. So we just make 2 references to everything. Love that. Or we just commit code crimes. I don't want to have to duplicate this because this is going to get big and then I have to write 2 for everything. That's going to be insane. I'm just going to commit some crimes. Okay. So we'll do public localized string. And we'll do player stole passenger message. Player lost passenger message. Player generic passenger stolen message. A score message. Score message. Pick up message. Opponent pick up message. Yeah, okay. So that can now be instanced. So then we just need to go to the startup. Well, we need to make this. Create asset menu. Menu name equals localization. Localization const asset. I don't love this, but it's kind of the best of both worlds, I suppose. Okay, we know where we're showing this, so we just need to go here, switch to the startup scene, application manager, throw in a reference to the public. Localization consts, and we'll make that an asset, and then we'll do localization const dot instance equals localization const. That can then reference itself, and now loc consts will always work. Object, create. Or not? Am I blind? Yes, I am. It's up there. No, not localization settings. Oh, maybe it won't let me. Wait. What's that? There we go. Look. Loc consts. That's. There's the script. Boop, boop. Let's go find those and them. I also need to have one for fmods as well. That's fine. I guess I'll make a pretty editor for this eventually. But gosh, that's horrible, isn't it? Oh, it's just awful. Oh, that's gonna be horrible. Okay, well, fine, whatever. UI module. Wait, I don't think I put that in there. Hold on. I did not. I did not. Okay, that is now. So UI module, documents, player HUDs. Lock that bad boy. Open the properties folder here. So player stole passenger message is. Oh wait, can I just copy and paste? Oh, they're starting that up again. Close the window. Copy. Please paste. Yes. Okay, good. Steal. Paste. Loss. Generic. Paste in there. Score message. Opponent score message. Pickup message. And then opponent pickup message goes in there. And then tag, no, pass. Event message pass. Pass generic. Okay. Those are now in my little const thing, which means we can get rid of these. These will then be angry. Wait, no. It will be angry in here. Yeah, there we go. But now we can go loc consts. Player stole passenger message. Yeah, there we go. And then localization const dot instance. Wait, lost. This is the generic one. That's the generic one. Stolen message generic. And then up here, have localization consts dot instance dot pickup message. We have localization consts dot instance dot pickup message. Oh, yeah, it helps if I keep the string dot format. You don't need the localization const to be single, they can just be static because you don't change them. You can't mark scriptable objects as static. That's why. So like these can't be static values. They won't show up in the inspector. I would love I would love that to be the case, but I'm pretty sure, for instance, if I change that to static, it's just gonna get yeeted. I might be wrong. It's possible that that doesn't change, but I'm pretty sure you can't do that. No, this is throwing an error, so it's not going to compile. Position const. What is this opponent? Last one down here. Yeah, it won't let you do that. Like even if I did that, I'm pretty sure this will not show up. In yeah, so it won't show up. Hence, scriptable object. And thus instance. This is just my pain in the butt workaround for dealing with these. But that at least means I can still use the localized string class without it needing to be a pain in the butt. And now I can use these messages. And then if I find any more, I'll update them as I go along. There are a ton, obviously, but I can keep that there. Hi, Game Dev Guy. Do you have a video on how to create multiplayer in Unity? I do not. These videos are my videos on that. I have it on my list of things to do. The course that I did earlier in the year, a few months ago, was kind of a testing the waters of how a video like that might do. I think to this date, let me have a quick check. I think, given that it was sort of a complete different set of people that this was aimed towards, the video is continually doing quite well. Over 90 days, it's had, you know, it's a 6-hour video and it's had around 10,000 views, which like isn't great, but also it's totally not the normal audience, but the trend graph seems to be going up. So that was me kind of testing the water for whether a format like that could work, and the answer is yes, it can. So a big sort of multiplayer video from start to finish would be good. I think probably what I would just end up doing is showing you how I make the multiplayer, how I made the multiplayer work for this. I think really what the video is going to be is like my physics as well from the vehicle, and it's just like a stripped down version of how I've made the assets for this. And I would probably give you one of the assets from Cabs to work with in the video, and then hook up those two events, because there's lots of specific things that I'm doing in this game, especially with the AI as well. And I would probably make that part of the video too. And it would essentially just be like how to build this thing in like 6 hours to 12 hours, and just a very scoped down version that's just in a little test scene. But I think that's probably something we could do. I want to implement multiplayer in my RPG and make an MMO. Okay, well, good luck with that. Good luck with that one. I don't know if that is you kidding or if you are 100% serious, but that is ambitious. That is ambitious. Okay, so we want to put the new message in. Actually, we should probably check that this still works. So let's do that. I should plug my controller in so it doesn't keep going to sleep, which it currently does. I hope the person who is, because it's really warm today and I need to open my window. I'm in the UI module. That's not where I want to be. Let me set this back to startup and that will fix it. And let's hit play. I love the game's graphics. Thank you. I'm not an artist, but I think it's possible. I'm not really worried about people thinking the game looks good or bad. I think as long as it looks consistent, I think that's what matters. Oh, I don't mean make an MMO. I mean make an RPG with some online fee. Oh, I see. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so this game, right now I'm using netcode for game objects, and so that's what the tutorial would be. But okay, I guess I'll just go into chaos battle because that's where the text should be happening. Because that's where the that's what really works for me for what I want to do, because this is a very small scale game and I'm doing direct connection right now. My goal is to get this to use the relay through Steam in order to connect to people and have lobbies and stuff, which is annoying because it means that it's going to be a specific Steam feature that if you, whether I probably won't sell it offline at that point. I need to figure out a way to do like a direct connection that isn't just sharing your IP address, because right now that's what you have to do, because that's what I hooked up. Excuse me. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna be working on next after Game Garden. I don't know. You look at my list of things to do: integrating Steam Relay and networking, and then adding local player support to the network mode. Those are kind of the next set of things after I've done all my Game Garden-y things. But yeah, just if you're tuning in and you're new, I am working on Cabs full time. It is now on Steam. I'm working on YouTube and Cabs full time. It's now on Steam. My dog has just woken up, and yeah, you can wish list the game if you like how it looks over there, and I will be showing more of this off over the next few months, talking a lot more about it as well in videos, and I'll be doing more of these streams. And yeah, if you want to support what I'm doing, you can also join the Patreon. It's just patreon.com/gamedevguide, and you'll get a key to the game when it comes out, and you'll get your name in the credits of the game if you've been supporting me for a certain amount of time. I haven't decided yet how much. Probably just whatever the value ends up being of the game if you've supported me for that long, or in the interim. Then yeah, if you're supporting me sort of when the game comes out, or you've been supporting for a while, I'll be giving keys away. I'm also going to be doing playtests of the online component for this at some point in the future too. So, reminds me of Simpsons, Road Rage, and Crazy Taxi. Yeah, those two are kind of, Road Rage is the reason like I was making this, because I played Road Rage. So, the object you are trying to, what is this one? An arrow on the punk car. Okay, I don't know why that's throwing an error. Doesn't matter. Haven't seen if the messages are working. I will have a look, see if transform has been destroyed. We're trying to access it. Rich just scored. Okay, so it looks like get the passenger destination. It looks like the messages are still showing up okay, which is great. That means that's working. This arrow is new. I added this yesterday. I actually really like it. I made it look like a little tag, and I'm pretty pleased with how that's looking. Okay, well, that's done that. Yeah, so are you using the Unity Wheel Collider for the wheel physics? Yeah, so I'm using a combination of, I've got my own physics on top of the Wheel Collider system. So I'll show that off at some point in the future. I think I've shown it in some previous videos, but yes, for the interactions and just to get the car bounce to look good, that arrow is patented. Be careful. The pointing in, it's not patented anymore. It used to be like in the 90s. I do not think they've renewed their patent. I also don't think you can. I think it expired in like the early 2000s. Yeah, it expired 7 years ago, so and I'm not quite sure what the detail of it is, but it's not an issue anymore. Also, it's dumb that you can patent that. I would like yeah, thankfully video game patents aren't as common as they used to be in the 90s. But oh man, I could write a whole video on how stupid video game patents are. I'm very excited for when the patent on the Nemesis system expires, because that would be awesome. Ragebro Gaming, thank you very much. You're watching from Sweden. Enjoy your evening. Appreciate you coming out. Justin, just send me a reel of your voices. If you have a voice reel, send me those. I don't really want anything else. I'm not looking for anything just yet, or anything in specific, but that's going to be the most useful thing. And I can't make any promises. I'm going to be putting out a call for voice actors at some point in the game. All the characters will need to be voiced. But, you know, send me a reel. I can put you in the back. I can put you in my list of people for consideration. That's all I can promise. Anyway, yeah, patents are dumb. And when the Nemesis System 1 gets released, I think it'll be really cool to see what people can do. I look forward to that finally freeing itself up. Okay, so our messaging seems to be working. I don't know why the let's look for PF Punk. Oh, player control Punk Girl. So this was throwing an error. Is that because arrow? Is that because it wasn't turned on? Okay. Maybe? Who knows? I'll find out. Random errors coming from anywhere. We will fight that when we can, I suppose. I saw a video recently about how Nintendo patented Mario Kart World's scaling objects up in the distance. Why would they do that? Okay, cool, great. Yeah, Nintendo, Sega, infamously, and Activision actually, infamous for dumb patents. And certain countries are more likely to give them than others. But I don't know. There's ways to circumvent them too. Like, all you have to look at is what the patent actually is, and you can very easily like, you could very easily circumvent if you just know the details of the patent. All you have to do is, you know, change a few things here or there. So it depends sort of how tight the wording of the patent is. Yeah, anyway, let's get that text in, and that seems to be working, so we can get the new messaging in instead. So this is where we want to be now, and then what we want to do is, so what I have is I have a, excuse me, I have a scriptable object which determines the game mode, and this has a series of configurations in it that I added recently, some new stuff that I've added to make this tag mode work. And so we can look up the sort of rules of the game mode and then determine what to show from that. And then I'm going to expand on that later. But in this instance, this is the sort of, this is the default version of that, right? So on stole passenger. So what we want is if session info, and this is a struct that I have to look at everything that's going on, because again, this is multiplayer, right? So I need to be looking at like just information about the specific session that's being hosted. such as if it's a networked one or not. But in there we have a game mode, and we can access information on the game mode. So the game mode should be, I guess, if the earn mode. How do I? Okay. So we could just look up. You know what? I'm gonna set these into some bools. I will eventually come up with a smarter system to do all of this, but I think this will be fine. So we'll do has passenger. Oh no, passenger has destination, and then we'll do bool should have passenger. We might only need this one for this specific game mode. Earn mode equals default. And basically, if we're the default earn mode, so if passenger has a destination and we're the default game mode, do I want to? I just hate when you end up having to like duplicate this multiple times, but I don't think there's a way around it, to be honest. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do it this way. Okay, if passenger has destination and we're the default game mode, then so passenger has destination and should have passenger, then we can just show our normal messages, which the other two have otherwise. Do we want to do this? You know what? Let's do it in every instance. So let's do it here. Then do that. Like I could do like switch and then return an index. That would be good. Passenger has destination and should have passenger. Okay, and that's the default as well. Default. That's default. And that is default. And then we can go else if should have passenger. Basically, if you don't want the passenger, then you fob them off. And then we can do our player stole passenger message. Well, it means you've taken them, so you've received them. They fob them off to you. They fob them off to you. Because in this instance, the stealing is the inverse. So we go passenger. Oh, wait. Did I make a value for the... No, I didn't. I didn't. Wait, no, yes. 0 fob the passenger off to you. And then we need the inverse of that, which is passenger event player pass, passenger event message opponent pass. That's what we can do. Do it that way. I wish I could move these. Oh well. And we go you fobbed the passenger off to, and then person. There, okay. And then we need another one in our const here. So underscore opponent underscore player, and that should get us what we want. Game code is a bit of a nightmare sometimes. So many states to consider. Yeah, I like. It's one of those things. It's one of those things, right, where you are constantly playing a battle of when is a good time to refactor this code, right? And you can look at things and be like, is this the best way to do it? But you come up with some crazy like intelligent way to do all of this, but that's going to take you 2 days to write. And so then the judgment call there is no, it's not the best thing to do, and you should just commit to the bit. But then you end up in a bunch of tech debt where you're like, I've done this a million times now, and had I put those 2 days in, hindsight is 2020, so yeah, I think sometimes you just have to like do it as if it's data entry, and it is boring and tedious, and it's a big switch statement with like a million entries, but you've made those million entries over the 2 years development of the game, 5-year development of the game, so it's not as egregious. But yeah, I think sometimes you just have to look at stuff and go, hey, I can refactor this now, or I've thought of a better way to do it. Sometimes this stuff reveals itself as you go along, but you get an inkling here, you're like, there must be a smarter way to do this. And 2/3 of the time, I'm not sure if I'm just being an idiot or not. Which, is entirely possible because I'm not that smart. Anyway. Yeah, right. So we are now going to get the player passenger event pass message tag. So which one's the player one? You fob the passenger off to 0. This should be opponent. They fob them off to you from player.name. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then that can go there. From this. A pass. Nope. Right, that is opponent. That one should be. Opponent pass, play pass. Okay. You fob the passenger off. 0. 0 fob the passenger off to you. Okay. Which then means we should be able to do this. You fob them off to them. Then the generic one is just the generic one. To player name. From player name. And then to.player name. And so the player is just this class of data that I use in the game. Like, I could go into details about how much of this is set up for the multiplayer. I essentially had it really simple, and then I added multiplayer, and it got really complicated. But it didn't. It was just a lot of refactoring and moving things into data structures that can be shared across the network. Okay, I think that's done though. I think we've made the Steal event text. So let's find out, I guess, and see if that works now. I've sometimes spent 2 days refactoring and gone back to what I had before. Oh, I feel that. I feel that pain. Okay, I have a bug where it doesn't detect input. I have to like click on the game view and then it works. I just wish stuff worked. Okay, so passenger tag. Let's play as Gene. I love Jean. She's great. Jean's my new favorite character. I think just because she's new. But we'll see. I might figure out who people pick when I'm at Game Garden and see. Okay. So Jesse has the passenger first. They're fighting over it. Vivian gave the passenger to Jesse. Jesse gave the passenger to Vivian. Yep, okay, cool. So I think that's working. So if I hit Vivian, Vivian fobbed the passenger off to you. Perfect. Okay, great. And then if I hit Jesse, she drives away into the abyss. Are you trying to go there? Where are you? Like, are you just failing to steer? I'm gonna have to spend some time checking out the pathing for these guys because I think they're just balked. Are they trying to get away? Come back. There we go. You fobbed the passenger off to Jesse. Okay, good. So then we just need this message to update. And I think we have it. Oop. There is a random power-up just sitting in this sky there. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, you know what? You know what, Jesse? You can... You can have her back. There you go. Okay, where are the others? Yeah, I have another bug where Jean can't actually pick up any of the collectibles. So, all right, don't worry about that. I think I know why that's happening. I have a lot of optimization to do. That's kind of what my plan is for next week. Is to just... Oh, Jesse's back. Okay. Where are the other two characters? Are they like over here somewhere maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out where they are. Have they gone up here? Maybe they've gone up here. No, they wouldn't though. No. Okay, Jesse's still following me. Oh, there's Frank. Okay. Frank's down there. Okay, that's cool. So I kind of just programmed them to like stay a certain distance away from the player and just pick a path anytime they're not that distance. Like, this is the biggest problem, is I kind of don't know what my bots are doing. And I kind of just give them rules and they follow the rules and they just kind of do their own thing. But that will eventually look like a SkyTrain. Do not worry about that. I will do the texture model on that later. One of the videos, I mean, you can't see this, but one of the videos I'm actually going to do soon is controller vibration, because that's what I've been working on recently. So I had controller vibration working, but then there was a bug in the Bluetooth driver in Unity. So I had, for a long time, I had to disable vibration because it caused a massive lag spike. So I only recently added it back in like a couple of days ago. And I spent a really long time trying to get it to feel good. So I want to, but I can't figure out a good way to like make a video about it. I think I'm going to have to find a way to draw a graph on screen to show the motors spinning up and down for the video. But I think there's a good set of content there because I've built a whole system for Rumble. And I think it's a good sort of bouncing off point for people interested in doing haptic design. Because, fun fact, there's like no information online about haptic design. So yeah, I'm not going to win this. I think Frank's going to win. I wish I could if I could pick up money, which I can't. I don't know why. Look into that too. Frank gave the passenger to Jesse. Oh, they're just having it out over here. Okay, cool. I don't know where. Out of interest. Okay, I'm just going to pause this. I want to figure out where she is. So where are you? Cadillac. That's the avoid target. Okay, so that's where you're heading. Oh, you've just... Yeah, okay, so it's done exactly what I thought it would, and it would just pick a point on the nav mesh. She's just hanging out here. She's just been hanging out in that corner, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to do a ton of cleanup work on the nav mesh stuff. Interesting. Okay. Well, the text is working, so that's good. That's good. This looks great. Are you using netcode for game objects? Yeah, I am. I'm using netcode. So it seemed to work in the last time I played it was with. So I had an old version of the downtown scene. So this was what the map looked like about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. You can see it kind of looks close to what I've got in the final game. This was my sort of mock-up for that scene, and really just trying to figure out how to make a map, scale, etc. And I played this version of the game with a friend in Germany and in the US online. It worked. It was good. The cool thing about this game is that it doesn't need a ton of like authority. Really, the rules are like, did the thing happen that I think happened on my screen? Did that happen on your screen as well? You know, and as long as that can be validated by the host, then you know it's good enough. Physics objects are all local; they're all run on the client, so those could be out of sync with each other. I think all the vehicles are also going to be out of sync with each other. I'm not too worried about that from a game design standpoint, as long as the things that really matter, which are like the people getting picked up, the hits, the collisions, etc., then we're good. For the block out, I used my own code to do all the roads. I've got videos on both of those, on that, and then the way that I did the map for real with the buildings and stuff. But these things are just pro builder meshes. But and I think this is my spline. I've got like a thing that can make spline sort of platforms and stuff from splines. So, and I pretty much had the same tech for the downtown. I just used my building generation. But yeah, to build the roads, I have a video on the channel. It's just called Spline Roads. Just go look. It's one of my videos. It's a little bit more advanced. I've made some changes, but it's the same fundamentals. I will probably look at improving it even more. If I do another, whatever, I'm going to do some other maps. There's a few things I don't like about how it generates it. And then the road lines are all just decals that are splines. Again, not the best way to do it. I think there's some other solutions that I might find easier, but it gives me that flexibility that if I need to change anything, I can. Same with all these buildings. So I wanted something that I could build quickly and iterate on. You know, if I suddenly decide that I want to get rid of this sort of shortcut, I can just update the spline and it will procedurally generate the building for me. So okay. Let's get this bit done. So that's done, and that is now done. So avoid character name. So we need tag destination text player, tag destination text tag destination text avoid. I think I'll just do avoid. Avoid? Wait. Don't. What do I want to say? So it has the passenger avoid them. Yeah, okay. Tag destination text fob. Fob them off. I don't know why, I just really like the term fob them off. I think that's funny. Okay, so tag header text avoid and as the passenger avoid them, and then I think it would be text fob, and then it's you have the passenger fob them off. Okay, I think that'll work. So NPC cars won't be synced. No, NPC cars will be synced. So the only thing I'm not going to be syncing is basically all of the vehicles in the game in terms of players are all going to be synced. Those have to, because those are the core game rules. The stuff that isn't going to be synced is the traffic. So that stuff doesn't matter. Nor do the destructibles or the pickups are going to be synced. But yeah, there's a few things that there's very little things that I actually need to keep in sync. So yeah, you don't need to keep that much in sync over the network unless you're doing like a really specific type of game where the game rules really matter on a moment to moment basis. Then from what I can tell, netcode for game objects is fine, especially if it's just for, this game's gonna be 4 players. And yeah, I think it's good. Again, if you do want to check the game out, it is on Steam. You can go wishlist it, and I will be having playtests. I'll be picking ideally patrons first. So if you want to become a member on Patreon, you can join for as little as $1 a month, and support the channel and tutorials and help me make this game. I'll be giving patrons early keys, etc. They'll get priority for that, but I will also have a playtest available to people too. But yeah, so I'm gonna put those messages in the const. So public localized string passenger tag destination text avoid tag destination, what do I call it, header fob. Okay, fob text fob, and let's set those, and then we'll figure out how to get them to show up on here. On there. Okay. Right. So let's here. This is the void. Text of fob. Then I have to do something that I don't have control over yet, so I'm gonna have to write some code for this. So, do I use UI Toolkit for the game? Yes, I do. I've got a ton of UI Toolkit stuff that I'm using for this. One of the reasons I really love it. I showed this in my UI Toolkit video, but and you'll see it when the game's running. All of the orientation for how the player character. Let's go back to so these bits, they all just go up and down depending on who gets the selector. I love that I can just do that. I basically just set in code who's winning right now here, and I just add the class to the correct person. So if player 1 is in first, I give them the first class, and if I gave third to another character, then they'll just swap places with each other because of the automated animation. Yeah, I love UI Toolkit. It's great. I really don't like, people complain about needing to do things with text labels and stuff, but I don't know, it's fine. You tend to change labels of things in text a lot less than any other parts of your game, because once or UI, because once that kind of gets added, it doesn't really change that much. But yeah, it is. It's great. So it's when it gets picked up, it would show the destination data source. Right. I've linked the destination to a data source. Okay. How do I want to refactor that? Yeah, the other part of this too is that these are also like the split screen display is just my UI, and because of the way that UI Toolkit works, when I just like need another piece of the UI, I just turn it on, and you get the other player. So when I want 3 people showing up, I just turn them on. I think I have to turn. I have some text, I think, to change it from horizontal. It's just, but it's pretty straightforward to just get multiple people in, which I really like. So really good for the split screen stuff. Okay. How do I want to do this? Let's open this up. And go to my destination box. Okay, and that's gonna have its data source, right? That's bound to destination. Okay. That text just has a label. Well, I haven't localized that one. That's cool. I will do that. That's good. Let's do that. Anyway, okay. Oh, header destination. Drop off at. Okay. That will set still in text, so I don't need to do it there. Const Nope. String destination. Those need better. Well, press in properly. Not in my chair properly. There we go. Let's grab that. Go into const here. Oop. Needs to be this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to figure out a better way for this. I'm gonna have to make these searchable or something. It's gonna be. I need a custom editor for that. I really do. So I can. Yeah, there we go. So what I was gonna do is I'll make this one hit, but we will remove this binding. And then we'll do that. Name override will make that one hidden, and then that can just show. Is it hidden or hide? Nope, there's just a ton of traffic outside right now. Is it hidden? Oh. Hide. Okay. Hide. And do shadow label destination override dot key shadow label. Ooh. I will. Okay. That's gonna go there, and then I can just. I don't mind that just happens in the background. I think that'll be fine. So what we can do then is grab this same logic that we had before, which was down here. And we go if destination passenger, this guy, wait, yeah, we don't really want this message. Okay, but then we go here and we say, so we then want to do destination dot we want to shadow, we want to grab the label as well. Shadow label destination header. Cool. label. I think it's just called destination header. Destination text. Oh, weird. Let's call this destination. Let's just call this destination header. This instance, I want to do destination header dot label equal, then localization consts dot distance header destination default dot get string. This instance, we figure out if you have the passenger or if they have the passenger. If player equals so you have the passenger. You have the passenger. And then we grab, so if we're in this one, we do destination dot hide. Oh, all right. Extension method. Have visual elements in here? No. Okay. So hide, show hide, public static void show this visual element. Helps if I type it correctly. Add to class list. Hide. Hide. List. Done. Ooh. Okay. Hide. Ride.show. Round on here. So that would be the default, so we don't really need to do this. That's fine. Destination label string format const destination header tag this one, because that should be saying you have the thing. You have the passenger. Is that going to fit in there? No. I guess we could go the other way around. We could fob them off, and then that bit can have you have the passenger. I think that's fine. I think that can be that way around. I don't feel bad about that. Okay. We do destination name. It's the top part. No, bottom. The bottom part. Really? No, no, it's not. Wait. That's the top part. That's the bottom part. Okay. This one's easy because it's just those two pieces. Bob. Void them should be. No, that should be the top one too. Okay, we just basically do the same logic. So header and the wrong way around. These are inverted is a bit better. That will be a problem come localization. I will worry about that then if I end up ever actually localizing this in other languages. Tag destination header void. Then we go string. Is it the override one? No, there has the player. Yeah, string dot format. That one. This will need to change anytime somebody has the player, so I'm gonna have to duplicate this. So I'm gonna have to get this. Method private void update destination. Just grab this. That player, yeah, passenger, send event. Go here, we go update destination, player, passenger, send event, true. So when we do the actual initial pickup, we do want to send the event message. Send event message, but when we do it or else we don't. So I go to the stolen thing. Stole passenger. Just update the destination. In this instance, no, there's all these things. Okay, we'll just do it. It'll handle itself. It's fine. It's not the end of the world if it just passenger. Oh no. Don't. Okay, when we all just do that, and we all. I don't need to do all the extra stuff. Out. Then Sync. Excuse me. Okay, so shadow label, destination, label, destination, subhead, override. Header. Oh. That. Subheader. All right. Bring this to our sync method. That. Destination subheader. There. Box. And go there too. It's gonna be available. Oh. Okay. Destination. Okay. Make this bit. So go on pickup. Dynamic destination text. Pass in the that on down here. Passenger stolen. That's who stole the passenger. So then if you have it, it will send you the message. Update the dynamic text. Okay, I think I did it. Ugh. What else is in my list? There's just balance and like make sure it plays well and optimize it. Yeah, okay, cool. I can play test. Cool. Okay. So I think this will work now. Let's find out. Okay. It has not worked. That's annoying. Be an error probably. Who has it? Bessie. Let's take it. You fob them off. You have the passenger. Okay. Good. So it worked in that instance. Maybe it just doesn't work initially, and then when it might not have worked initially. Avoid them. Jesse has the passenger. Okay, good. All right. So it works in that. It just doesn't work start state. That's fine. There's a weird height. That section is weirdly high. Yeah, that's like oddly up in the air. Is Jesse right behind me? Oh my gosh. Alright. Go away! Alright, let's flipping about. Wait, do these not have physics on them? Oh, those don't have physics object. Oh, if you have a passenger. Okay. They're all here. All of them, mate. Hello, Vivian. Go. I'm really curious when people play this, if people are going to go like hide in places. I don't know. I don't know how people are going to play this. It's going to be interesting. Like playing against computer generated opponents is one thing, right? But when you get real people playing, it's going to be much different. I don't think they can get to me that easily when I'm up here. Rich is absolutely destroying it though, so he needs to be taken down. So I mean that is a strategy. You could steal it to then intentionally go get someone else. Where is Rich? Oh, Jesse just took it from me. All right, fine. We're not going to worry about things falling out of the sky right now. Like the other opponents would have to be. Firstly, I think when you're playing on your own, the other opponent, like the opponents, are going to have to be smarter. I'm going to have to figure out how to get them to drive. That said, I put like no work into making them drive more intelligently. Jesse's like stuck somewhere under here, I guess. Yeah. I guess they could always hunt down the player who has the most time. That that would because that would be the human strategy. And I think that's what I need to do. Because like if I was playing this with somebody else and they were in the lead, I would specifically go looking for them. So I think making the opponent take that strategy like 90% of the time would probably be good. Yeah, I need to remove that delivered metric in the scoreboard for this game mode too. All right, let's try and play again. See how that looks. So just this opening bit that doesn't have the. Oh, they keep doing things outside. Oh, it worked this time. Yeah, I wonder if I can. Right, because at the start they won't have it, so I might just have to make sure that One stole passenger. We could also check the. What if we could check at the beginning here? There's somebody literally right outside my window with a leaf blower. Just making the loudest noise possible. They are awful. Leaf blowers are just awful. Awful things. You just get a rake. Okay. Gardening should be illegal. I don't know if I go that far. There's just some municipal leaf blowers that they come every week, but they're just so loud and ineffective. Um, they're just displacing the leaves. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't do anything. They just displace them. It's just ugh. Um, we could probably just call this. Does it do the check? No, it doesn't. Ah, okay. On pickup, do this, but I don't do this check down here. Do I? Show dynamic destination text. I might do this down. No, I do this down here. We've already done that check. No, I don't. Okay. Do that down here. We already have this check, but I don't do that there. That might have been the issue. But no, then I would have definitely had it anyway. The only thing, like, I need to make sure. Oh. It's just the fact that it's not hidden by default. That was the issue. Yeah, this should be hidden by default. Just destination box hidden. Yeah. There we go. I think that will work now. I think we have our game mode. See, I'm gonna play as Jesse this time. There we go. It is not showing up anymore. So yeah, it doesn't have the initial event. You can give the passenger to Rich. Okay, no, now it's just not showing up at all. Okay. That might be my fault though. I think we just make sure that that isn't in the class list. I think. Yeah. Maybe that should do it. Should start at the beginning. Let's take it from genes. Okay, then it shows up. Okay, cool. Let's fix that bit. So then what we need to do this check again. I don't like that I'm doing this multiple. Maybe we make this a method. Here's default game mode. But turn get rid of that. Go. Oh, game mode. Go. What else that is? Let me do that. And then we can just grab this, that, after the sync. Sync. If it's not the default game mode. Oh, but we don't know who has it. Frick. Yeah, pick up passenger. One player pick. This isn't getting called yet. Is that set in sync? I guess do we have the vehicle controller? We could dynamic destination text. Okay, we could. We want to make sure that it's. I guess we could just, when we're doing this. Does a character start with a passenger? Go. Player with passenger. False. Null. And then I think we just go. That's trying to find ourselves. We're only looking over 4, but it's fine. Just do session events dot instance dot. Does the player get that information set on them? No. No, it doesn't. How do I want to do this? I could. Okay, you know what? We will change this. I is less than session events dot instance. I don't want to do that. Okay. What we'll do is do it down here. And if we're not the default game mode, then we'll go through and find them. Character has passenger controller. Now, well, I didn't know I couldn't get that. Does that not have it on it? Yeah. Does not have a reference to the pickup control. Doesn't, it's the other way around, right? Okay. Oh, I guess that's fine. I don't like that being in 2 places. But it's probably okay. Has a passenger equals no. And if character has passenger. And with passenger there, and we just do for if character. I don't have the passenger. I do have the passenger. Otherwise, player with passenger equal player info. It's I, the player. Otherwise, for int I equals 0, I is less than session event, session info, active session, players, I plus plus, session info dot get. No, where is the player stuff? Session events dot instance dot player. Player by index, no. And vehicle control. Character, no. And vehicle controller for player, and then I controller equals, and if controller has passenger, and player with passenger equals controller, and player has passenger, character has passenger equals true. Nope. Session instance dot get player by index I, and then we break, found it, and that's what we need to do. That's a pain, but that should fix the opening. And make sure there's probably a more elegant way to do that, but I think that'll be fine. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, it still didn't work. Why? Why not? Oh, if it's not the default game mode. That's probably why. Yes, there we go. Problem off you have the passenger. It shows up now. Hooray! All right, Rich, come in. Come here. Come here. You're getting him. Okay. Cool. That works. make sure it updates itself. Pop them off. It just didn't update then. That might be code down here somewhere. Yeah, that should be there. That's that, which is why that bit wasn't working. Okay, cool. I think that's all of my text pieces working. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think that's the basis of the game mode working. I just have to do the scoreboard and just make sure that the scoreboard populates, but I'll probably do that later. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. The UI is now in. I just have to get the AI to drive a little bit better and prioritize the, not the player, well, maybe prioritize the person in the lead, and then fix nav mesh. Okay, but that's pretty good. I think we'll probably leave it here. I've got a bunch of like multiplayer related features that I need to get working. I will probably do that over the next few days, and test the game again a little bit more. I might do another stream in the future. I think this will be it for now. I need to take the dog. She's staring at me and wants to go for a little walk, so I'm probably going to go do that and take a little break. But yeah, thanks for coming to hang out with me. Again, if you are interested, head over to you can wish list the game over on Steam. I'll share that in the chat again. And yeah, just search the game on Steam. Easy to find. I'll link it in the description down below too. And do please consider, like I said, this is now gonna kind of be my full-time thing for the next few months at least, and hopefully the foreseeable future. If you're watching this and you like what I do, please do consider becoming a paid member over on Patreon. Any additional revenue, close window again. Any additional revenue that comes in can help keep the channel going. And obviously, if I get to a point where I don't need to take sponsors, that's going to be great. If I can be fully funded by Patreon, that would be awesome. But up until that happens, I need to be able to pay rent. So you'll see more videos from me in the future, but you'll also be seeing a few more sponsored ones in the interim, because I like to be able to keep a roof over my head. But yeah, until the game comes out, that's going to have to be my form of revenue. So please, like I said, if you want to join me in this goal of sort of keeping tutorials going, and you know, everything that I usually make tutorials on are formed from me working on things. So, you know, it's kind of an R&D budget more than anything else. Like I said, this already in the past week, I've come up with 2 things that I want to make tutorials on. One of them being this vibration like haptics stuff and that whole system, because I think that'll be cool. And there isn't a lot of information online about it, so I'm sure sort of short primer video on how to build something like that could be useful to people. So if you want to see that and support what I'm doing, then yeah, please head over to patreon.com/gamedevguide. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me this whole time. I know it's been a kind of a slow one today. I did a lot more text-related things than I'd hoped, but hopefully next time we'll see a bit more of the game. I think I'll just be doing balance tweaks and stuff next week, so I'll see if I can stream next week. Keep an eye out. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, so there's a playlist, I think, if you want to watch more. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks very much.